Hey everybody, Bill Miller here talking about emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse. I was an abuser for 35 years or so of my life. Just came to the realization that I was probably, we're working on, I guess, 2 months ago now. I honestly cannot believe how much I've changed, how different I feel, how different I am in 2 months. But that's because I've made it a mission of mine to overcome every fiber of abusive tendencies, behaviors that I have in my body. I have hurt the last person in my life, which unfortunately is my wife. And it's something I just am hell-bent on never allowing to happen again. I know I'm not a bad person. I've never been a bad person. It's not a matter of having, evil in me or hatred or, being born angry or waking up angry or anything of that nature. I've always been very kind and polite, fun, goofy, whatever. But when I get close to somebody, then things change entirely, or used to change entirely for me. And I've basically made it my mission in life to be one of the people that overcomes it. And I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying it. It's not hyperbole. It's not something I'm doing to hopefully get my wife back, even though I pray to God every day that He does bring her back into my life. Only this time she won't even really recognize the man that I am today versus the man that I was when she last saw me. Anyway, something I wanted to cover today that I was thinking about is apologizing, saying you're sorry. It's something that happens a lot when we're abusers. As abusive people, we go into our tirades, our lashing out, our insulting, our pushing them away from us for whatever reason you may have or I had. And we make them feel like shit about themselves, we make them cry, we hurt them, we devastate their emotions. They're trusting the person that they married to take care of them for the rest of their lives. Their hopes and dreams are all, lie in our hands. They literally put them in our hands just the way we put ours in their hands. Only we're stupid and we don't know what to do with it. So we don't know how to actually put ourselves in their hands because we're too afraid of that. So, but they've put their entire lives in our hands and we destroy it. We destroy their hopes and dreams through no fault of their own. And that's the part that I just, when I think about it, it's just devastating to me that I married the most amazing human being I've ever met in my life. For some reason, somehow, some way, God just blessed me with her, and I didn't take care of all this bullshit I'm taking care of now prior to this. And so I didn't know how to treat it. I never thought for a minute I was good enough to hold on to her for life. I tried dearly by marrying her quickly, thinking like, we'll get married and that's gonna fix things. We moved in together after 6 months, I don't know, probably about 6 months. We got married, a month or two later, almost 2 months later. Just all kind of shallow attempts for me to hold on to her, even though I also was the one that was pushing her away. So what happens when we go through our bullshit tirades where we insult and belittle and go to bed on couches or not touching each other all night or crying or whatever it is the next day you come to the realization, you realize what you did and you feel like shit. You feel horrible for your behavior. So the first thing you do is, well, maybe not the first thing you do, but very shortly after, hopefully anyway, you start saying you're sorry, like apologizing and saying that you're sorry. And you feel sorry, I guess, but you can only say sorry so many times to them to where it means anything. I know with my wife it didn't mean anything at the end. Like, sorry didn't mean shit to her. So what I was doing is all I was doing is letting her know that I feel bad for what I did. Like, that's all I was doing is, I would say I'm sorry, but the reality is I just felt bad for my behavior, so I was letting her know that I feel bad for my behavior. The difference being, if you're sorry, you're gonna work on not doing that again. You're gonna work on never letting that happen again, right? I mean, that's the biggest issue with when you say you're sorry to them. You're like, yeah, you might feel bad, but the next time something comes up, you're gonna do it again. So you're not sorry, because if you're sorry, you get your nose in a book and figure out how to overcome this. You dial a therapist and start doing some therapy and figure out how to overcome the way you're treating me, so we can live our lives happy together. Like, that's someone that's sorry. They would take those steps to make sure that the next time this comes up, you've got some methods, some steps that you're taking, some processes that you go through to avoid going down that tunnel again, or that that pattern that you've established probably for when you were very young. So that's important. There's a very important distinction between the two. Feeling bad, we do feel bad. I felt bad every time. I use the word sorry, but like I said, it didn't mean shit to her. She wanted change. She wanted me to be sorry that I did it and never do it again, not just feel bad every time I do it, knowing that tomorrow night it's going to be the same thing. So when you apologize to them, when you apologize to just anyone really, it's just keep it as simple as possible. The feeling bad doesn't mean shit. You feel bad for an animal that runs across the road and gets hit by a car. I don't know, feeling bad doesn't really mean anything to people after a while. Changing your behaviors, showing that you're sorry does. So when you're apologizing to your spouse or your loved one, keep it simple and keep it and let you're letting them know. You're trying to make them feel better. You're letting them know that you regret doing what you did. And your goal, like when you tell them you're sorry, you're also hoping that they feel better. Like, you're helping them feel better by letting them know, like, hey, what I did was wrong. And it was not your fault. You had nothing to do with it. What I did was wrong. And the next time the next time this comes up, I'm going to react different. So I kind of wrote down a couple of things. And another one is always state what you're sorry for. Not everyone needs this, but it's never going to hurt, I promise. And most people do need it. So when you apologize, you say, honey, I'm really sorry for saying all of the hurtful things that I said to you last night. Like, I don't feel those ways about you at all. That was a part of me that I need to take responsibility for and change. And I promise you, I am going to start doing that. I will call a therapist today, and I will start talking to a counselor about treating you this way. And I will start researching how to overcome my behaviors. But I want you to know, I'm really sorry for what I did. And it was not your fault on any level. It was 100% my fault. And I plan on taking these steps to make sure the next time something comes up, I have a better plan on how to handle myself. Whether it be recognizing the warning signs ahead of time, noticing the triggers, recognizing my triggers, and addressing those before I get to that point or whatever. But you're not making excuses for your actions, and you're definitely not blaming him or her for your actions, and you're not making excuses at all. It's just a simple, honey, I'm really, really sorry for all of the horrible things I said to you last night. There was absolutely no excuse for it, and I'm going to call someone today and start seeing a therapist to figure out what I need to do and how I can overcome this, because I never want to treat you this way again. And I promise you, by the end of today, I will have called some therapists and get a couple lined up so I can start changing the person that I am, because you did not deserve that last night, and I never want to treat you that way again. And I hope one day that you can forgive me for it. And that's it. There's nothing more to it. And you better fucking do it too. If you're gonna call, if you're gonna say you're sorry, and let her know what you're sorry for and what you plan on doing about it, you know what? There's a really, really good chance she will even help you find a therapist. Like, hey, maybe we can see one together, or if you want, I can help you find one, or I can start researching some books on how to whatever, whatever. But I guarantee you it will make a big difference if you just apologize, take full blame for yourself, responsibility for your actions, and start taking steps to fix it before it's too late. So that's that. Feeling bad doesn't mean shit. Saying you're sorry and doing something about your behavior is the only way that you can fix this, and that's what you need to do. Also, I wanted to mention one thing that I haven't really talked about since I started this, but going through this recovery is I can't even. I mean, no one's watched all my videos because they're stupid, but I basically cry every video. Every one of these that I do, I cry, because it's draining. It's freaking hard to, as a grown-ass person, go through your entire life, well, like with a fine-tooth comb, and relive everything. Think about the pains. Think about, your parents. Think about, my sister's kidnapping, deaths. Think about all the abuse that you've, doled out on people. It's freaking hard. And one thing that I haven't even mentioned yet, that's oddly very important for your mind, is when you're going through this, like all things that, we're being mindful of everything that we do at this point. Like, I'm very mindful with how I talk to people. I'm very mindful with, everything that I do, everything that I say right now. I'm very mindful because I need to be careful, and I'm practicing hard to change who I am. But I've also become very mindful with what I'm putting into my body, like what I'm eating. I think I've said it several times. Like, I don't drink at all, and I won't drink. I can't even imagine the day that I'm going to drink alcohol again. I'm not someone that says I'll never do this again or I'll never do that, because in 20 years I have no idea, nor do I care today. Right now I know there's not one hair in my body that would allow myself to screw up everything that I've worked for by drinking alcohol, or doing any drugs. I've never done any other drugs, so I just say alcohol, but by drinking again. So I'm very, mindful of that. Like, you've got to be of sound mind to go through what we're going through, and to be able to focus and stick to it and stay sane. Like, I'm telling you, it sucks. It's hard. It's really hard. And also just eating healthy. I know it sounds silly, but eating healthy is really important for just your normal brain function. You're shoving Big Macs and French fries down your face every day. There's no way you can say your body's getting what it needs. And this is taxing. It's stressful and it's taxing. But be mindful also of what you're eating. I don't know physically how much it helps. I can't really see my brain working, but from everything that I can read, everything I've read, everything I've heard, eating healthy obviously is very healthy for your brain. Your brain, just as an example, like this is kind of weird, but your brain is like 2% of your body weight, but it burns 30% of the calories that you put in your body. 30% of everything you eat, your brain burns off. That's how much that sucker's working. That's crazy. If you eat, 1,500 calories, your brain's burning 450 of those babies. Like a third almost of the calories you eat is your brain burning it. So anyway, that's also something that is just important. Like, just start paying attention and being mindful of what you're eating. Eat healthy. It makes you feel better in a time where we're not feeling very good. So that was just a little tidbit that I wanted to cover. I've lost 22 pounds since I've been doing these, oddly. I mean, in the last 6 weeks, I've lost 22 pounds. I'm basically at my target weight. I set my target weight at 215 pounds. I was 238 pounds. I weighed myself 3 days ago and I was 216. So I'm 1 pound away from my target weight. I might decide to go 210. I don't know. Like, I'm 6'2". I've always been 230 to 245. I've always been a big dude, but now that I'm almost 50, I'm like, maybe it'd be a lot more healthy for me if I, trim down to 210 or 215. I mean, I can actually tie my shoes now. It's kind of weird, but without running out of breath. Anyway, but it does. It helps. Of everything that I'm going through physically, that's it. I've been told 200 times by people like how it's not like I look good, because I know I don't, but just how much better I look versus, at 215 pounds versus almost 240 pounds. Everyone notices it. My mom, every time my sister gives me a hug, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, it's like I'm hugging my son now, like he's, because I don't have this big gut and stuff. So I'm just being a lot more mindful of what I'm eating as well. Unfortunately, I don't have time to exercise quite yet. I do try, but I'm working 16 or 18 hours a day. When you put all the, the 2, 3, 4 hours worth of therapy I do, I'm up, 16 or 18 hours a day. So I don't really, the exercising hasn't happened yet, but it will. I mean, I know I'm not stalling or delaying it. When I do have a morning, like tomorrow morning, I will exercise, because I close on Sundays. I spent the day with my kids. Tomorrow morning I'll be up by 7 o'clock, and I'll be at the gym. So that part's nice. Once I get rid of this, bar, it'll be a part of my everyday routine. But for now, I just don't have time to do it. But I do have time to eat healthy, and it makes a big difference when you're going through what we're going through. Okay, that's it for the day. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.